July Revolution Proclamation on December 31. Government not linked to July Proclamation, press wing. Talk to bury the Constitution, heard, Mirza Abbas. Those were the headlines sponsored by Akij Bashir Glass. Good evening, I'm Shazan Ehsan with English Bulletin. Proclamation of July Revolution will be announced from the central Shohid Minar on December 31. The leaders of anti-discrimination students movement made the disclosure from a press conference in the capital on Sunday. They said the proclamation aims at burying the Constitution of 1972 and declaring Awami League irrelevant as a Nazi organization. They said those who have presented New Bangladesh at the cost of their lives July Revolution Proclamation will be dedicated to them. The declaration will reflect people's aspiration. The leaders of anti-discrimination students movement called upon all who behold the very spirit of July Revolution to join the grand event at the central Shohid Minar. They also said anti-discrimination students movement and Jatiyo Nagorik Committee will never turn into political parties.
যতবারই ছুঁই তোকে দিই যত্ন মাখা কোমল ছোঁয়া
এসিআই নিয়ে এলো কোকোনাট মিল্ক ও জাফরানের নির্যাস সমৃদ্ধ বেবি সফট বেবি লোশন যা বাবুর ত্বকের আর্দ্রতা বজায় রাখে দীর্ঘক্ষণ কোমল ছোঁয়া প্রতিবার বেবি সফট
Government has no involvement with the July Revolution Proclamation set to be unveiled on December 31. Chief Advisor's Press Secretary Shafiqul Alam made the claim at a press conference in front of Chief Advisor's residence on Sunday. Addressing the same event, Deputy Press Secretary of Chief Advisor Azad Mojumdar said many people are misusing the Secretariat entry passes except for real journalists. That is why cards will only be issued to professional journalists after scrutiny. Attempt to bury the Constitution is unfortunate. BNP Standing Committee member Mirza Abbas made the remark at an event of Dhaka South Chapter BNP at a community centre in capital Nayapolton on Sunday. The BNP leader said anti-discrimination movement has talked about burying the Constitution. They want to take credit for student people movement solely. Feel bad when learning about burial of Constitution written on the blood of martyrs. If there is something bad in the Constitution that can be abolished but not the whole Constitution. It can be amended or rewritten. However, burying it is not the right thing to do, he added. A two-day national dialogue on unity, reforms and polls organized by Forum for Bangladesh Studies has ended on Saturday. Advisors of the interim government, top leaders of the political parties who had supported the July mass uprising and people from different strata and professions joined the dialogue. In his virtual address on the inaugural day, Chief Advisor of the interim government, Dr. Mohammed Yunus, said he thinks minimum age for enrolling as voter should be 17 years. His remark has given birth to a new idea. However, main topic of the dialogue was trial of genocide, where crystal clear announcement was made. Although polls issue was also discussed, but when the polls will take place, that issue has remained inconclusive. Limited number of temporary passes will be issued to journalists from Monday for entry to Secretariat. Advisor for Information and Broadcasting Nahid Islam made the disclosure to the media at the Secretariat on Sunday. He said they will restrict entry of common visitors to Secretariat because this had created a lot of problems in the last 4 months. So all the previous entry passes for common visitors will be cancelled. There will be change in the policy in this regard. The application process for the new passes will soon be unveiled, he added. Jamaat is attempting fishing in murky water. Senior Joint Secretary General of BNP, Ruhul Kabir Rizvi, made the remark at an event of the party in the capital on Sunday. He made the remark while talking to the media after paying homage to the tomb of party founder and former President Ziaur Rahman in the capital's Chondrima Uddan. He placed the wreath on behalf of Jatidawadi Riksha Van Auto Shramik Dol. The BNP leader said one or two political parties give sermon to BNP. BNP have never deviated from the commitment towards people. A devastating plane crash at South Korea's Muan International Airport in South Korean city of Muan claimed at least 179 lives Sunday. Fire engulfed the aircraft when it skidded off the runway just after landing and struck a barrier. South Korea's Transport Ministry reported Jeju Air Flight C7C2216 arriving from Bangkok, Thailand, with 181 people on board, was attempting to land shortly after 9 a.m. local time. According to National Fire Agency, the airliner landed without unlocking its landing gear, veering off the runway and collided with wall, triggered fiery explosion. Two crew members, man and woman, rescued from tail section of the burning plane. It slammed into wall and erupting massive explosion of flames and debris. Aviation Department's officials said bird strike was among several theories for the accident. However, investigation was ongoing. Now a short break. We'll be back soon with arrest trading unabated over Alif murder, Anu Muhammad. Israeli brutality continues in Gaza. You're watching ATN News. This is English Bulletin. Arrest trading is taking place over lawyer Saiful Islam Alif murder case in Chattogram, like that of Sheikh Hasina's regime. Professor Anu Muhammad made the remark at a press conference at the National Press Club on Sunday. The press conference was organized by Ganotantrik Odhikar Committee after visiting Chattogram to know about lawyer Alif murder's post-scenario in Chattogram on Saturday. Members of delegation of Ganotantrik Odhikar Committee who had recently visited Chattogram termed the indiscriminate filing of cases and arrest over the murder incident as worrying. They also demanded not to create any communal rift over the murder and ensure justice for all arrested in connection with the case, including Chinmoy Krishnodash. Now news around the world. Israeli brutal assaults on Gaza deepen with fresh Israeli shelling on Baptist Hospital in Gaza City, while its forces confirmed arresting 240 people after raiding and setting fire to Beit Lahia Kamal Adwan Hospital. Israel's military confirmed detaining Dr. Hussam Abu Safia, director of Kamal Adwan Hospital in northern Gaza, who was arrested during Friday's attack. Besides, during the time, forces were also moved out vast majority of patient staff from the hospital and several medical staff were reportedly detained. Israel claimed the hospital was being used as a command center for Hamas operations and those detained are suspected militants. Moreover, director Hussam was taken in for questioning on suspicion of being a Hamas member. However, international aid group called on Israel to immediately release Dr. Hussam Abu Safia as the doctor's whereabouts remain unknown. Meanwhile, Israeli relentless deadly strikes across Gaza killed at least 36 people over the past hours. Saudi authorities arrested more than 23,000 people in a week for breaching residency, work and border security regulations. Saudi press agency officially reported this. According to official report, more than 13,000 people arrested for violations of residency laws, while above 6,200 held over illegal border crossing attempts and 3,901 for labor-related issues. Further, Among the 1,536 people arrested for trying to enter the kingdom illegally, 57% were Ethiopian, 41% Yemeni, and 2% were of other nationalities. Moreover, 57 people were caught trying to cross into neighboring countries. 23 were held for involvement in transporting harboring violators. Interior Ministry said anyone found to be facilitating illegal entry to kingdom could face imprisonment for a maximum of 15 years, a fine of up to 1 million Saudi riyal, and confiscation of vehicles, property. Viewers, we'll take a short break. Stay with us. Welcome back. You're watching English Bulletin. And now, sports news. Dhaka Capitals named Sri Lankan all-rounder Sithara Perera to lead Dhaka for this year's Bangladesh Premier League BPL T20, scheduled to start on December 30. Dhaka Capitals team management officially announced him as their skipper on Sunday. Dhaka Capitals said in a press release the announcement was formalized when CEO Atiq Fahad handed over the captain's cap to Perera. It added the franchise is optimistic that the team will achieve its desired success in 11th edition of BPL under Perera's leadership. Besides, the team includes senior cricketers like Liton Das, he who led Bangladesh national team in all three formats as well as led a T20 series victory over West Indies. Meanwhile, after naming as captain into press conference, Perera spoke about captaincy, team's strengths, weaknesses and potential. He considered Liton Mustafiz as crucial members, adding when Liton keeps scoring it will be difficult to stop him, while Mustafiz is lifeline of bowling. Before ending the bulletin, Akij Bashir Glass top stories once again. July Revolution Proclamation on December 31. Government not linked to July Proclamation, press wing. Talk to Berry Constitution hurt Mirza Abbas. 179 killed in South Korea plane crash. Arrest trading unabated over Alif murder, Anu Muhammad. And Israeli brutality continues in Gaza. That's all from the newsroom for the moment. Thank you for being with us.